measuring and managing. It's not the sexiest part of trading, you know. We like to talk about making money. However, measuring and managing is a big part of making that possible. And there's quite a few things that we're doing on our end to be more proactive on that, as well as what we're doing to teach our community on some ways that they can integrate with like AI, for example, to help them measure and manage and ultimately just know themselves in the market and what works and what doesn't work so that they can just have insanely consistent results. That's the goal. And so not only is our submission process useful for us to kind of keep track and be proactive with our members and making sure they stay on the straight and narrow, if you will, but it's also now it's a way for them to self-evaluate their own session where they can kind of reflect on what they just did and not ignore. I think what a lot of traders do is they tend to ignore the stuff they don't want to look at. You can't. Everyone does. They like, well, that one doesn't count. I was dumb. That one doesn't count. No. Don't ignore that. Evaluate it.
So what are the secrets? How do some of the most successful entrepreneurs find the freedom that we all got into business for in the first place? How did they find the time, energy, and resources to launch and scale strong? And how do entrepreneurs like us align our time, money, and energy in a way that will allow us to reach what we set out to achieve? These are the key questions, and this community will give you the answers. Welcome to the Prosperity Movement. Well, welcome to the Prosperity U podcast. It's been a little bit, and we have so many things that we've been wanting to do for some time, and we've just been like completely there's been just so many things happening, great things, new developments, and incredible results. So if you're wondering why there's been probably about 6 months of like, where are these guys, why they haven't been on YouTube, it's because of the developments. As you can see in Zach's screen, it says it's not trading, it's the Trade Deca method. And you see that X and it says Trade Deca. And so what's this Trade Deca thing? Maybe we should give context there. Do you think that we should give some context surrounding Prosperity Movement, Prosperity U, and then Trade Deca and all those moving elements?
Sure.
Is that a fair place to start? And then we did say that the topic for today was that we were going to talk about measuring and managing, but like not just numbers, but like other moving elements that are really important, heart set, mindset stuff. And we can get into that. But I think, what an incredible time to like announce Trade Deca on our podcast. I know that we've got a list of about 20,000 people or so that have, learned about us and about us, but we haven't been so public facing with it so much, other than Facebook ads and the other ways that we connect with people, obviously. But on YouTube, we have not talked about it. We have not talked about it on our podcast. We've not talked about it on Spotify or all the other outlets that we would normally when we are running the podcast strong. And so here we are back again. But ultimately, I think it started, if I recall, we were informed of a $12,000 trade day. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Brent and Beth. And so that's where it all kind of started, because we had this focus prior with this idea of taking something small and turning it into something significant with the concept of the 10 pips a day. We've never really deviated from that, have we?
No.
It's always been a 10 pip a day focus. And that's especially in your basic kind of early development phases. And you can scale that out, of course. But if you're just being very conservative and just focused on just grabbing that 10 pips, like it's very easy and doable. And so we were helping people, and you may have seen some of the interviews we've had with guys like Leighton Williams and a few other people over the years that have taken something small and turned it into something significant. Like, it's a 6-figure income over 40 weeks when you are running our gate system with that $200 to $500 account, right? So now where it all kind of flipped for us is it was like, wait a minute, $12,000 trade day. How long have you guys been with us? What did you guys do? And they said, oh, well, we just did everything you told us to do in the outline, but we also went to a prop firm. So we just skipped that 40 weeks and went directly to graduating a prop firm, being certified, and then, following the payout structures, and yeah, $12,000 days is what they were submitting. So it became very clear that that was something that we needed to focus our energy on. So Trade Deca all of a sudden kind of came out of that, where Travis had this amazing idea that maybe we should do a relaunch and a refocus. Of course, prosperity movement, we have the 4 pillars of prosperity we talk about. You can see it throughout all of our podcasts. And we are very, very driven by the Proverbs 3:1 focus of, my son, keep my commands and you will live a long, peaceful, and prosperous life. And so prosperity movement is a John 10:10 movement. It is the thief came to seek, kill, and to destroy, but Jesus came to give us life and to give it to us abundantly. And so prosperity movement is our marketplace ministry, and it is our focus on good stewardship. And it is not prosperity gospel, just so everyone knows. We do look at James 2:26, and we know that as the body without the spirit is dead, faith without works is also dead. And so it's not name it and claim it prosperity. This is, show up and be a good steward in the parable of the talents. And so that's our focus, and we are expanding in so many different ways. And we'll have some more updates for you, including our boots on the ground initiatives in further podcasts. But for today, let's start with measuring and managing. And I'll kind of move it a little bit over to Zach, because we've got some new developments. I know I'll have a few things to say on this.
Important measuring and managing. It's not the sexiest part of trading. We like to talk about making money, those $12,000 days and those kinds of things. However, measuring and managing is a big part of making that possible. And there's quite a few things that we're doing on our end to be more proactive on that, as well as what we're doing to teach our community on some ways that they can integrate with like AI, for example, to help them measure and manage, and ultimately just know themselves in the market and what works and what doesn't work, so that they can just have insanely consistent results. That's the goal. And so I don't know. Do you want to start with?
I mean, what does make our system so unique, and it is my understanding, is there anyone else that still, I know there's some really great companies out there. We've been hearing about some, and we're very excited to be seeing others out there doing very similar things to us right now, and actually, like doing some really cool things. So there are some great companies out there, without a shadow of a doubt. There are a lot of really horrible companies out there as well. But there are some really great companies out there that are preaching very similarly, including, Top Step, which is one of our preferred prop firm brokers. They're very much in the same lane of this concept of just be disciplined, and that 10 pips, take it and go, take it, smile and go. And so, we love that, and we're seeing others that are really modeling that as well. But is there anyone else that has the support and accountability, the third-party validation submission process that we do today?
No. And not only is our submission process useful for us to kind of keep track and be proactive with our members and making sure they stay on the straight and narrow, if you will, but it's also now it's a way for them to self-evaluate their own session, where they can kind of reflect on what they just did and not ignore. I think what a lot of traders do is they tend to ignore the stuff they don't want to look at. I kind of think of the analogy, like when a dog takes a poo in the house, it's a good way to train them, rub their face in it, kind of thing. Like, nobody wants that. So when you have a bad trade, you don't want to look at the poo. Okay, but you have to. And so part of our submission process
I don't want you to eat it, though. Please don't eat it.
don't even lick it. Part of the submission process now.
That concludes today's podcast. See you guys next week. Wow.
It's to not ignore. You can't. What everyone does, they like, well, that one doesn't count. That one, okay, I know I was dumb. That one doesn't count. No. Don't ignore that. Evaluate it.
Oh man, like it just gets me thinking of some of the coaching calls that I've had recently, and we really dive into heart set and mindset. So, like again, we want you to not only track your numbers, those are important. Our system does it for you. Like literally, um, if your numbers are not reflecting what they should be, our coaches get notified. They literally get texted and emailed, and they review. And you should be recording your session via Loom. We use that for multitudes of different reasons because sometimes something happens in the broker that is not you. Zach, I think you've had two times now that you were able to reach out to the broker with your recording and you were able to get a credit back because it was like, hey, what the heck was
Yeah.
that? Like, so it's really cool, and to know that there are outfits out there that will honor that is amazing, right? So like Top Step is one of those. So it's absolutely perfect. And my understanding is at one point in time they actually had a glitch happen during a market open that actually thousands of people actually lost, and it was like what happened? It like glitched out to where it like
Yeah,
locked out.
it basically froze.
Yeah. So
It's
and
funny. It's funny what Matt did. He's like, well, I guess I'm gonna keep trading and make up for it. So he brought it back. He got back the funds himself.
instead of throwing it under the rug, they credited the community. So that's
Yep.
like huge. That's amazing. And I can't remember how long ago that was, but that was like the first initial a few months ago, and we were like, this is a good outfit. What are some of the other outfits that we like right now?
So and it kind of depends on your goal as a trader, what you emphasize more on, I guess. I don't know. So one of them is take profit trader. Their main focus is withdrawals. They just have the easiest withdrawal rules. So if you want like pretty much no limitation on withdrawals, they're the ones to go with. They are a little pricier. So give and take. There's pros and cons to that. Another one that we go with is Apex. Apex has some serious advantages. They are also less expensive, and they're to pass an eval. It's a little bit easier, but they also have extra withdrawal rules. So again, it's kind of a pick your poison.
Yeah.
Step is kind of smack dab in the middle,
Yeah.
very reasonably priced for their eval fees and stuff like that. And they do have withdrawal rules, but they're not ridiculous. They're
I mean,
pretty reasonable.
we encourage people to not start, don't start withdrawing until you hit like 55,000,
Yeah.
right? And you start with a 50,000 account. And so that we kind of go a little further than them in terms of our recommendations because we also want you to scale out. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's and scale out safely. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's really cool to witness what's happening in the community. We're averaging like what, 2 to 5 certifications a week right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
cool. Like, Aaron, shout out to Aaron. I won't say your last name on the podcast, but we've been working with him, like one-on-one coaching, all that kind of stuff. So again, measuring and managing not just your numbers, but your heart set and your mindset. I can't tell you how many people that I've sat with, and I won't mention like if he ever listens to this, like, maybe we do point him to it. But it's like I have been on a call recently, and I've seen language patterns, and you'd be surprised how much your language pattern actually lands in your results, right? And what's happening with him this week too? You know who I'm talking about, right? Language patterns about I got to get out of my job. I hate this. I don't want to have anything to do with my job anymore. Like I just want to be with my family more. And I get that. All of those things are wonderful things. And you have a job that many people don't have that you're able to help like you're able to to provide for your family with. Like that's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to start, right? And then how many trades was he taking? So now if
Oh
we
my
look at the numbers, how many trades was he taking?
God. A lot. A lot. I mean, like, I think I saw him take like 5 trades within like 3 minutes at one point. And not only that, but some of those trades were different markets, like jumping from one market to another and then back and then taking a trade here. And oh, I lost that one. I'm going to go over here, take a trade here. Just kind of all over the place. And keep in mind, we love all of our members. This individual specifically, we love
And
him
I
very much.
absolutely love him deeply, and make that very clear every time we chat. Right? So keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. And so eventually, and this is a concept, I don't know a better way to word it, but this is a little bit crude, I suppose, but sometimes people just have to get kicked in the balls enough in trading to finally listen. And so this individual reached out to me this week, and
And in
after,
your group chat too, in your inner circle group chat, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just know we only have like 10 or
yeah,
so minutes left here, but like I remember him saying last week, like I'm trying to wrap my head around this because I want to do this, but you guys are telling me to do this, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around how that's going to work. And then he
yeah,
started doing it, and what's he been doing?
he's been winning. He's been winning. It's like a night. It's almost night and day difference, actually. Like legitimately.
Sounds
Uh,
an awful lot like the Karate Kid, where he's like, wax on, wax off. He's like, why am I doing this stupid crap? And then
exactly.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
it just clicks and it's working. And although that's a bit more fictitious, I think the example,
Oh
what's
man, I've
happening
been
here is
waxing my
sometimes
car
things
for
don't
so
necessarily make
long.
sense, but when done from when somebody who knows more than you is teaching you, like what's his name?
Mr. Miyagi?
Miyagi, yeah, he's having you do something for a reason, and so that's kind of what you
And
guys.
repetition and simple repetition, a small repetition, and like just do that. Like it's as simple as DRS, like you said today. They're Zach coming back, and yes, we want to reference the higher time frames as we get into an intermediate focus, and then we start having fun with Fibonacci and pivots as you get into the pro. But like it's like dude, it does not need to be so difficult. Most people don't realize that they're in their own way. And so I never would have thought, and we're coming to a close here, but I would never would have thought, and I was telling Aaron this the other day, and Aaron literally said, "All glory to God" today. He sent me a text message, "All glory to God. He got certified. He did it." And by the way, Aaron, I won't mention his last name, but he started with $150,000. Instead of a $50,000 prop firm account, he started with $150,000. So he was, instead of paying $50, how much is the $150,000 one?
It's 150 bucks.
150 bucks. Yeah, so instead of paying 50, he was paying 150 bucks a month for this thing, and he was teeter-tottering. And I told him out of the gates, "Can you please just do what's outlined and do what we told you?" He's like, "Yeah, but I need to have bigger ambition, bigger goals." And I'm like, "Yes." And I kept on coming back to the deadlift. I said, "If I'm your personal trainer, and I know you know this because he's in really good shape," I said, "You would never start someone at 500 pounds. You would never start there. Why are you doing it?" "Oh, well, you just don't know how big my dreams and my goals are." And I said, "Dude, I don't know. I don't think yeah, actually, those are recorded. Maybe I can get his permission at some point in time, but they were recorded, man." Like, I kind of had to like get real with him. And I said, "You can keep doing that if you want." Or, and then I never thought God would use trading to disciple people. I got him in my, do you guys know the awakening discipleship boot camp that I have? Like the 10
Mm.
steps of discipleship. And so we went through the identity piece. We went through the awakening in the understanding of your gifts piece, and then the ambassador side of the Great Commission. So we went from understanding the Great Exchange to getting to the Great Commission. And all of that has to do with understanding that nothing belongs to you. You can either walk in entitlement, two types of people. You can walk in entitlement or walk in entrusted. Are you entitled or are you entrusted? And entitlement will rob you over and over and over and over again. And so he's literally texted me, I don't know how many times, to let me know that he's healed through so much of his traumas and so many things that he has not forgiven himself for. And he just got certified today. So it's just like, and this was like within a matter of weeks of sitting down together and looking at the numbers and saying, "Okay, go do this. I need to see the numbers. Go do this." Blew the account. Why did you blow the account? What were you doing? Okay. Now let's not just talk about what you did and the numbers behind that, but what caused it.
Yeah.
What caused it. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Now that you're talking with me, and I'll be your chat GPT for a little bit, I want you to start taking daily and weekly notes on these things and these things and these things and these things. Then I want you to start looking at rolling weeks and rolling months. And I gave him my template. And look at these kids soar. Look at them go. Look at them go. Look at them grow. It's amazing, man. It just, like I said, I never would have thought that God would have used trading as the vehicle to help us get people to understand their identity in Christ and the choice, understand the design of the Lord, understand the downfall and what happened, and the fact that we were born into sin, born into Adam, then getting into the deliverance part of Jesus Christ and the decision for Jesus Christ. And not only the decision, but then also understanding that Jesus Christ is not just your Savior, He's your Lord and your King. And when you start to understand that, now you can have a proper Galatians 2:20 experience where you understand that it's not you who lives anymore, but Christ who lives in you, and you were crucified on the cross with him. And now the true transformation starts to happen. And now your old patterns that you grew up with and the frustrations and the word patterns that we hear. I love you, but
Mm.
what you just do. I heard that this week in a feed. I love you, but I said, wait. I said, I love you and I love you and it's okay to have this frustration and talk about how you feel stretched and all that kind of stuff. But in our community, we run on 1 Corinthians 12 to 31. And if I break it down for you very simply, one part of the body cannot say unto the other part of the body that you're not a part of the body. Can't say that you don't need me, can't say that I don't need you, and we are to take up each other's burdens. So I let everybody know that when you come over here, there are going to be things that we're going to pray about. There are going to be things that you're going to work through and break through and hurt through and then find breakthrough. And we will go through that with you. And I will work with you through those emotions. And when we look at the numbers, we're going to remove the emotion completely. And the data doesn't lie. And we will find the truth and we will be set free. We are already, some of us. Some of us need to be freed. And so that's the fun of prosperity movement.
And Trideca.
And Trideca. Yeah. I love the X. Looks like a cross.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's so nice. And 10, Roman numeral for 10.
Well, that's the whole point. You know, the name is Travis's mind baby over here. It's to emphasize that 10 pips a day. It really does make a difference. You got someone like Aaron who is seemingly very ambitious. Cool. You'd be surprised if you just take it at 10 pips a day, how quickly that freaking multiplies. You try to push the market too hard, too fast, you end up getting hurt a little bit. So
yeah. Well, you can't push the market. You'll get steamrolled. You'll get steamrolled. You're not here to make the market do anything. You're here to catch the low-hanging fruit. Good stewardship 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make the best with what you got. Why I love David so much is he started as a sheep herder, took a few little rocks and a slingshot, took down the giant, became a general, and then went and became king. Just a couple of little rocks. Availability and surrender to the one true king. And then obedience. And then he made some mistakes.
We don't have to talk about that.
But thankfully he readjusted properly. Oh, thank you, Jesus. We don't need to be like David. Anyways, cool. Well, anything else that you guys want to add? I think that one of the things that I would like to add before we tie up, do you have anything?
No.
Anybody else? Okay, so Zach, you had a $1,700 day a couple days ago. We've got it recorded with your broker and everything. You're kicking butt on your trading. A lot of our traders are kicking butt. We record our sessions. Again, Zach We've got multiple. We've got a little package. It's called the Backstage Pass. In that package, we have a session, a group session with Zach, and we continue to update this as we move forward. But you know, we bits at a time. Bear with us. So Zach has a group session that you get to experience in a full group session, like what it looks like to be. And I always explain to people, when you watch it in full, watch it at one-time speed, because that's what it's going to be like. Experience it. The second thing that you get is you get an over $1,700 a day from Zach with his broker on screen. You get to see the entries, you get to see the exits, and also there's little thumbs, my understanding, and we do have it on a page like you asked for, but those thumbs are still on the page. We made sure that it's still there. So if you want to fast forward to the parts where he enters and all that kind of stuff, or sit through it, it's completely up to you. I always encourage the first video you watch in full, then the second one you can skip through. And then I have a group coaching call where you get to experience some of what I'm talking about. And I'll have some updated ones here soon too. We have our first lady joining us. It's not just an all men's call. It might have looked like one, but we have our first lady joining us here this Thursday, actually today. And so you can get access to that. And then we also have the actual Backstage Pass, which includes the first page, Travis, there's calculators on the page so that they can kind of have fun getting some realistic expectations on what the ROI focus can be, I mean, your 90-day focus. And we do have a fast start focus right now too, by the way. Again, it starts as a 90-day boot camp, but if you jump in with the CEO fast start focus this week, it's the last week we have it on, then we'll let the numbers tell us based on your fast start focus. We'll see how quickly we can get you certified, but it should be within 90 days. No reason not to if you're following the system. And so then there's results and a whole bunch of stuff on step number 2 on that one. And then step number 3, it's, again, an outline that'll answer about 97% of your questions, maybe 99% of your questions, and then we can go from there. So if you want that, all you have to do is reach out on the text message or emails or comment below on YouTube, wherever you're seeing this. I would encourage you to go to our website, tradedeca.co. And is there a little chat thing at the bottom right?
There is, yes.
Chat thing. You can go down there. You can just put in Backstage Pass. We'll send you the Backstage Pass that way. Or if email support@tradedeca.co. You can also just text or email us Backstage Pass. We'll get it to you. And that's it. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. We want to wish you all the best in health, wealth, relationships. God bless you.